in the rooms. In the believer room, we focus a lot on this list. In the follower room, we focus a lot on this list. And in the servant room, we focus on this list. And when we're done, we've flipped back to the kingdom living, and we've let go of our lists, and we're free. That's freedom. Does that make sense? So, in this room, the perform room, we have our to-dos. It's what I need to do to get you to desire me. Okay? Why is that important to look at perform and desire? These are deadly. You say, well, okay, why are you making such a big deal about it? It is a big deal. The outcome of it is the devil owns you. That's a pretty big deal. How many feel like you often are not your own boss? It's all wrapped up in what I'm about to tell you. And I'm not going to give you a program that fixes it. What we're going to be working on is how you understand the mechanics of it so you develop how you and God will fix it. Okay? Well, let's do it this way. I really like your pen. Okay, I think that's really cool. Can I see your pen? Thanks, no. This is a really cool pen. I'd like to buy it from you. So I'll give you 2 cents for it. She's smart. I'm paid more than that. I'm not going to give you my pen for 2 cents. 5 cents? How about $1 million? If I give you $1 million, can I have that pen? No, don't help me out here, okay? Okay, so if I give her, it'd take $1 million. If I give her $1 million, how much is this pen worth? How do we arrive at that? The pen performs. I desire it. And this is what I'll pay for it. So my desire of that object and what I'll give for it just determine the value of the pen. Doesn't matter if it only costs the manufacturer 50 cents, 2 cents, 8, whatever to make it. The pen is now $1 million pen. The minute I pay $1 million, this pen is unreal. It is $1 million pen. I've got a friend, his name is John Wetland. He wore the same stinking cap through all of 1996, became the most valuable player on the New York Yankees team in the World Series when they won, and they took that sweaty, yucky hat and put it in the Hall of Fame. And his wife and I chatted, and she said, and they wouldn't even let me wash it first. They like the salt stains from the sweat. That hat is worth a lot of money. Stinky, smelly hat that if it was Rick's hat and it was like that, you wouldn't want it on your head. But they'll pay big bucks for that hat because John's sweat is worth more than Rick's sweat. That sounds silly, but it's really what it comes down to. Why? Because John can throw a baseball 100 miles an hour. Well, that makes a lot of sense. So, because you can throw a baseball 100 miles an hour, they give you $35 million, and they'll pay you $1 million for your sweat. That's just ridiculous, but that's dirty water. Because that has to do with the first one. Performance and desire creates the value. So where we land up is, you guys get to determine how valuable I am by how well I perform. How do you like those bananas? You better shine and dance because otherwise you're nada, you're nothing. Why? I won't want you. That's not an option, so now I get to call your value. And how many have teenagers? They sing and they dance for their friends. Why? Because relationship is not an option. It's all I have, Mom. I have to have those jeans. I don't care what they cost. My value is based on me having those jeans. I have to go to that party. I have to go to bed with him. We can make a list. And we wonder why we do the horrendous things we do, but it is based on the water. I have to have water. And if it's polluted, so be it. But I don't have the pure water, so the only thing left I have is the polluted water, and that's what I'm going to have. By the time we're our age, we've created patterns. We don't even see the pollution anymore. So how do we set up these lists? How do we go from performing to desire to now the value? And then what that really means is Satan is the one that is creating how valuable you are. Because he owns you, doesn't he? If you live in pride, selfishness, and rebellion, you are sold as a slave to sin. You're going to fall apart at the seams. Sin is what? Separation from God. You were sold to being separated from God. And your whole way of fixing it is reconnecting and functioning in him. That's the only way you're going to deal with this scenario. So how does this scenario work? Well, let's go to the to-do list. Some people perform by a special ability. Like my baseball player friend. He could throw a baseball 100 miles an hour, won the World Series, ended up on David Letterman, and talking about politics. What? You throw a ball so I know who to vote for when you tell me. Right. I mean, look at the movie stars. I mean, wait, hold the phone, Rosie, honey, sit down, baby. I don't agree with you. You see what I'm saying? They think because I'm famous, everybody should listen to me, and they do. We play the game. Why? Because their ability is so great, they perform so great, people desire them. And now they ascribe value to them that they shouldn't be ascribing. Who is it that gets to ascribe value? Who's the real judge? Up here. He is the value ascriber. See, there's a mirror all the way down. God ascribes valuable. We are so valuable. And that's where he begins. The devil lands at value. God begins with how valuable. It's an absolute opposite reflection. You see that? So, if you have an ability, then you can perform, which causes people to desire, which gives you value. So, that means you better keep throwing that ball, John, because the minute you're done, baby, your value's gone. And if you had an understanding of how high the divorce rate in baseball is, it would freak you out. About 85% of ball players get divorced. Why? They've been little gods for their whole young career, all 11 years of it. They're used to strutting down the street. That's just who I am. And now when they can't play ball anymore, they're a has-been. And they can't live with has-been. Why? You just cut me off from the water. So they begin to fight, and there it goes. And she's used to him being a happy little god, and she can buy whatever she wants. Money's gone. He's no longer a god. I just fell out of love with you. And that's how it's that simple. So if you don't have ability, you can't perform, and you're not desired, I feel sorry for you. But there is other ways. Don't be afraid. You could be good looking. You have a natural attribute. You could be really gorgeous. And how much money do we spend in our society on being really gorgeous? Just about everything, every commercial. I mean, they sell cars with pretty bodies laying all over them, and I'm not talking about the car. You know, I've met people that get up and they won't leave the house without makeup on. Now, don't get upset if you're one of those. Some people shouldn't leave the house without makeup on. You know, you need to paint the side of an old barn once in a while, you know. But if your value is based on I'm performing by being pretty so everyone will want me and now I'm valuable, what happens when you get old?